People usually think of Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr as the Fab Four. But for a short time in the early 1960s, the future Beatles played in a cover band that was, unwillingly, playing for, mostly, free, giving them silly stage names. McCartney, Lennon, and Harrison, the three original members of the famous band, came up with a number of names before deciding on the Beatles. They played as the Quarrymen for a while, until they had to try out to be a backing band for a traveling musician. This meant that the artists had to start over. McCartney said no to the name Crickets because it was already being used by another band, which Lennon had suggested. The band chose the Silver Beetles in the end. The Liverpool artists didn't stop there, though. The audition that led to the name change was for music promoter Larry Parnes, who was based in London and was looking for backing bands to play with traveling singers all over the UK. The Silver Beetles got the job and started touring with a singer from Liverpool called Johnny Gentle. This was a lucky sign of the success that was to come. The former Beatle recalled the moment the Silver Beetles, who were never billed as such but rather as Johnny Gentle and his group, decided it was time for yet another stage name change in anthology. Now we were truly professional. We could do something we had been toying with for a long time, which was to change our names to real showbiz names. Unsurprisingly, each band member had a different idea for what classified as a real showbiz name. McCartney changed his name to Paul Ramon, which he later said was appropriately exotic. He really liked how French the name Ramon sounded. This is another example of McCartney pretending to be French to please girls, like when he wrote Michelle, a song that started out as A sur I, Papa Artar I sar in sartori I twin Dysart. Toddy song, but turned into a love song. Whereas McCartney turned to different countries for inspiration, the other future Beatles opted to use their stage names to pay homage to artists who came before them. Stuart Sutcliffe, the band's bassist at the time, became Stuart de Staël after the painter, McCartney explained. George became Carl Harrison after Carl Perkins, our big idol, who had written Blue Suede Shoes. John was Long John. People have since said, John didn't change his name. That was very suave. Let me tell you, he was Long John. There was none of us that didn't change his name. McCartney changed his name to Paul Ramon. He really liked how French the name Ramon sounded. This is another example of McCartney pretending to be French to please girls, like when he wrote Michelle, a song that started out as a party song but turned into a love song.